Let's bring in a panel here. We got John Thomas. He is the managing director at Nestpoint, and Brandon Arnold is the executive vice president at the National Taxpayers Union. Great to have you both here. Brandon, I'll start with you. Are you a Black Friday shopper? Do you prefer to go and, in the chaos, to go and get a good deal?
Absolutely not. I prefer to stay in the comfort of my home, and if I'm shopping on Black Friday, it is online and online only. The chaos is just a little too much for me to bear. I do like the lower prices, but thankfully, I think there's been less of a focus on Black Friday itself, and these discounts have been spread over the course of a week, several weeks even, so there's a lot of opportunities for us to save money, even outside of Black Friday itself, thankfully.
Yeah, absolutely.
John, I've heard something where apparently sometimes stores will mark up prices and then put the sale out to make it seem as if it's so much more on sale, when really you're probably just paying the exact same price that it should be going for, and also that there's actually days throughout the year where items are marked down more than on Black Friday. Is this just some sort of a phenomenon that so many Americans have in their head now, where they think they have to go out and shop on Black Friday or they're going to somehow miss the best deals?
There is some truth to that. Some retailers have increased the pricing and then artificially decreased them back to normal. But at least the good news is there are some screamer deals on Black Friday. I'm more of a Cyber Monday man myself. Certainly not going to go brave the crowds in the store. But it's really actually harder to judge the impact of Black Friday because retailers and e-commerce retailers essentially stretch this Black Friday phenomenon out starting in October, and they're able to do it because so many of us have opted in with our cell phone numbers, email addresses, that I'm sure all of us have been harassed now for several weeks about the deals going into Black Friday and that we could buy early. So the question is, I want to look more at the holiday season and what kind of revenue is driven rather than simply one day.
And it's funny because there are conflicting headlines about this. I mean, look at this headline from, this was NBC News. They write this, Black Friday arrives with solid momentum despite tariffs and economic uncertainty. And then conversely, you got this headline here from Newsweek that reads, Black Friday spending to fall for the first time in years. Brandon, back over to you. So what is it? I mean, are people spending more money? Are they not? It depends on which outlet you're reading.
Yeah, there's different data points out there. Surveys of consumers have said they are going to reduce their level of spending this year, while at the same time, the Retail Federation is saying they are expecting higher sales overall. So it's going to be tough to work out. We're going to have to wait to see what those numbers produce. I think one of the phenomenons we're going to see is even if consumers are spending the same amount or a little more, they might be shifting where they're spending their money, looking more to discount stores and for those deep, deep bargains than they were in previous years, trying to get those dollars to stretch as far as they possibly can.
John, that Newsweek article, it was quite skeptical about Black Friday and about the profits it'll generate. Here's the overall summary saying, while consumer spending is expected to remain largely resilient, as a whole, the National Resale Foundation forecasting a record $1 trillion for November and December. Analysts note that the numbers are being kept afloat by some higher income shoppers and that less affluent Americans will curb discretionary purchases. Do you think that's what we're seeing here, a widening between higher income and lower income shoppers?
Well, certainly higher income households are less price sensitive and maybe a little bit more looser with their pocketbooks. But look, even in these financial papers, they're not immune to political ideology. A lot of these financial papers have Trump derangement syndrome and are looking to read the tea leaves as a negative reflection on President Trump and the economy. Hard to say. We're not going to know for a couple weeks. But the bottom line is consumers may be shifting their spending habits to spend more on Black Friday because they didn't spend earlier in the year and they're looking for deals. They may spend less on Black Friday. I mean, we don't definitively know. But certainly if you're looking for a deal, there are places, use the internet, that are particular on consumer electronics. There are deals to be had. And so I would recommend spend a little bit of time if you're looking for that new Wi-Fi router this weekend. You'll get a good deal.
Or a good deal on a TV maybe as well.
Yes.
All right, John Thomas, Brandon Arnold, great to have you both here. I appreciate it. Thank you.